Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Saturday and I will be reviewing the 6th studio album by the Gorillaz. The Gorillaz sound is primarily mixed between hip-hop, electronic, experimental. They've sold millions and millions of copies with won Grammy Awards and Pop Awards. So the band is really made up of 4 animated characters and they tell their story through music videos, interviews, and this fictional universe that they go through. And the first single on his album is called Humility. So I will be reviewing Humility. I have not listened to this song at all, so I will be reviewing and reacting to the instrumentals, the lyrics, and the general feeling of the song, and then I will give my overall rating at the end. Please feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you think, if you agree with the review and reaction or not. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments. Let's get started. Let's have a listen. Right off the bat, this is definitely a Gorillaz song, you can tell. Not to mention, the vocals are very familiar to that Gorillaz sound. And I might have been expecting a hip-hop sound with this R&B kind of vibe that the song has right at the beginning. But it's very much an indie pop vibe with the vocals. And this R&B soulful progression at the beginning is really nice and groovy. It's a very soft mix that kind of makes you just want to groove to it. So there's this thing happening that from the beginning of the song that hasn't stopped till now. It's almost like that. It's a bit of that sound that you might hear in a Led Zeppelin record. A stringy type of swell sound that is coming from the background. It could be a string, it could be some type of MIDI synth. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's happening in the background continuously that's making the song sound very groovy. Here you can hear it here. Right there. That sound is really rooting the whole song. It's really interesting how the lead vocalist, Damon Albarn for the Gorillaz, has never swayed from his effects that he puts on his vocals. So you know when you hear that sound that it's a Gorillaz song. Likely he has a preset of effects that he just puts on his vocals all the time because that type of vocal is his sound. And right here you can really hear the vocals because they cut out every other instrument and they're doing a drop again. So really building the layers of the song here. We're almost halfway through the song. Likely they'll take us around for another second verse, another chorus. So he goes through the next 30 seconds or so, he does 2 more of those drops where they bleed out all the instruments, keep that strong vocal with his preset effects on it, and also that stringy swell thing to make those drops just a little more distinct in the song and a little more catchy in a way. When you have those bleed outs and drops, it catches the listener again just because it makes you want to drop with your body. That groove really sets in when you do that multiple times. And that's what's going to really make this song stick in the summer is that drop. It's a really cool drop when you hear it live. People are going to really groove to that. Interesting little bridge here that's coming in. One thing that is very typical of a Gorillaz song is it's very almost difficult to understand what the lyrics are just because those effects make the vocals really thick and they're not very upfront in the mix as you might hear in a very top 40 pop song where the vocals are very in your face. Here the vocals are very blended within the mix, so that makes it a little more difficult to hear. That's just a stylistic thing. That's one of the Gorillaz' strong points. They are very lyrically driven and instrumentally driven at the same time. It is their lyrics and the instrumentals that the Gorillaz have really pushed forward in their music that have made the Gorillaz really successful. So you can see that in a song. The lyrics are good. I'm the lonely twin, the left hand. Reset myself and get back on track. I don't want this isolation. See the state I'm in now. It's poetic and it's not forced. They're not forcing rhymes here where you would see in a lot of pop music where you force rhymes to make it sound good. And although it does sound very good, it can cheapen the song if you don't do it tastefully because the listener can tell that they're forced. So after the bridge, it looks like we're going into the third verse. And that's the end of the track. So it looks like the guys doing the background vocals, there are a few layers in there and they've taken over almost the lead vocal spot and it's giving that song somewhat of a conversation. I don't want this isolation, see the state I'm in now. Normally we think, wow, this is a relationship thing, but maybe it's the relationship with the band, the background vocals, and the lead vocals, they're telling the story. So we don't really know, and that's really why artists write music. They have a story behind it, but they want you, when you listen to it, to come up with your own story and your own perspective, to bring your own experiences into the lyrics, so you can really take anything from this song. I think I'm going to give this song a rating of, I would say 7 on 10. Instrumentally, very well done. It's simple. It has that groovy soul behind it that I like, with that stringy swell sound throughout the song. Lyrically well done. 7 on 10. Maybe 8 on 10 actually. I was expecting something more punchy, a little more, something that would drive a bit more. This, to me, sounds more like a second single, maybe even more of a B-side hit. Perhaps this is the vibe that they want to take the full album. So I would suspect if I go and listen to the rest of the album now, it would all really be based off this vibe. So really like this song. Overall, let's do 8 on 10. I like this song. I really have a lot of respect for the Gorillaz when it comes to their lyrics and their instruments and how they build up songs and how they don't conform to regular pop music and how they really don't conform to what other people are doing in the industry. They really spearhead their own genre almost, and they have a large cult following that this album will likely take off in the summer. That is my review for today. Let me know if you agree in the comments. If you disagree, tell me why. And I'll see you in the next video.